Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the globe. My name is Tahir Qureshi. I'm your host. Tonight we have a topic: housing market predictions for 2021. Will it crash or boom? I'm very delighted to have my friend Ken Finch, who's a FRI, a CPM, joining me tonight's conversation with our viewers. Ken.
Excellent. Hello to here, and thank you for inviting me onto the show. I'm ready for another great episode.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Dear viewers, as you can see, in 2020, we have a coronavirus. Our market was going very well up to March when coronavirus hit us. By 15 March, our industry, like anybody else, was impacted. We have a slow few months before it begins toward June. Those days, the market was not affected because of any economic conditions. It was affected because of coronavirus, the fear and fear of contamination and not to infect fellow citizen is the cause of concern. So activities were slowed down in the market until we learned how to conduct our business. So this is what, when the coronavirus was lifted and business started, you can see our second and third quarter sales went very high, and it gradually improved for the third and fourth quarter. We have a remarkable recovery of real estate. So Ken, can you share your experience, what happened before we talk about this the coronavirus? How did you handle these transactions and deals when you were faced with this challenge?
Yes, definitely. So at the end of the first quarter, basically the lockdown was the middle of March, and the remaining weeks of March and April, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and so a lot of people were looking for a deal, but people weren't selling below market value. So, I had a listing, and a lot of people were sending in lowball offers. And, I just explained to them, why would the seller accept anything like this? So there was uncertainty, and people thought there was going to be a crash because, over the past several years, or the past decade, prices have gone up quite a bit. There was that the blip with the fair housing market strategy that the Ontario government put in April 20th, 2017. There was a slight correction for the next 12 months there, but prices have surpassed those levels, or record high levels now. So it's still been a very strong market. People had to adjust to virtual tours, doing things digitally instead of meeting in person, such as signing documents, which has already been around for several years. But now it's basically standard to use digital signatures opposed to a wet signature with a pen. So once everyone became used to the new way of doing things, then everything became more efficient. And, this year has been phenomenal for real estate sales.
Well, I think it's very important for our viewers to have a perspective, historic statistic about real estate. We are both member of Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. So I'm going to share some information, how gradually, historically, the prices of real estate have improved and average price over the years. So we're going to talk about that. That will lead us to our final prediction toward end of the program. So let's go back to 1974. we had Toronto Real Estate Board has a 17,318 sale at that time, and the average price of a house was $52,806. So we're going to go jump on a decade basis to every 10 years. So from 1974 to 1984, the price doubled. It went from 17,318 to 31,905 sales to 102,318 average price for a house. So 52 to 102, that means it almost 100% increase in 10 years. So that means averagely 8.9% or 8% monthly increased. Okay. So from 1984, our sale jumped from 31,905 to 44,237, and our price jumped, average price, to 208,921, which is more than 100,000. So every 10 years, the price has increased over 100% of the purchase price in 10 years. So let's go back to 2004, and then we'll share with your knowledge. 2004, the sale jumped from 44,237 to 83,501, almost double the sale in 2004. And our price jumped from 208,921 to 315,231. And you can see that it went about 50%, not 100% this time. So this is a little bit historic, and we're going to go back. And from there, 2004 to 2014, sale went 92,776 from 83,501 sale to 566,611. So that's a very significant increases in sales. And I'm going to share with the viewers the most recent data about last quarter from 2008 to 2018. In 2008, we have a 74,505 sale, and average price was 379,080 in 905 and 416 areas served by Toronto Real Estate Board, now is a Toronto Regional Board. In 2018, it went to 78,018 sale, but the price, average price went $787,845, which is more than 100% increase. So trend has been of almost doubling your price every 10 years. And I will share the more information about 19 and 20. So what do you think about this, Ken? Can you give some perspective on this?
Yeah, no, definitely. So, just prices have gone up, and so it's cyclical. So, real estate, if you put down the general rule, if you put down 10% and wait 10 years, you're going to do well. And, as the stats show, you're going to, basically increase your equity by 100%. So, or, the value of the home. So, that's, it's real estate is a very, safe investment in the, Greater Toronto area, definitely.
So basically the concept behind the real estate and this growth that we see over 10 years period is longevity of retention. That means you keep the property, you live in it, enjoy it, and then you are able to see that reward coming to you because you're building your equity. It's not just buying, selling, and moving away. Basically, you are retaining, you are living in the house, because if you are doing an investment property, then you have repercussions in terms of equity building or capital gain, other things stuff. So far, we haven't seen any new legislation that changes that, the capital gain per scenario for principal residence, correct?
Primary residence, yes.
So that means anything that you earn by giving a contribution through your mortgage payment, or annually you contribute toward your mortgage, your principal will increase, your interest will go down, and you build more equity, plus the market appreciation over the years will benefit you to make decision and think about drawing money, doing investment, other scenario. But this is what this real estate is right now, showing that this is the safest, best investment in any scenario.
Yes, yeah, no, definitely. It's been a safe investment, and with everything that's happened this year with coronavirus, people thought there would be a crash. People have been calling for a crash in the condominium market, and specifically in downtown Toronto, because over the past 15 years, the number of towers constructing high-rise condos has been unbelievable. At one point there were the most cranes in the Toronto area, more cranes in the Toronto area than any other major city in North America. So people have been calling for the crash of the condominium market, and so that has been affected though, because with the Airbnb not being able to operate, people are putting condominium units on the market to sell, and a lot of students in the universities and colleges in Toronto, they didn't rent out condos this year, or there were many less than previous years. So there was a surplus of rentals in the downtown area. So that has affected prices. People in smaller condos, 400, 500, 600 square feet, there a lot of people that have built equity, they're looking to sell and get a bigger condominium or a freehold house, because working from home, it's difficult, especially if there's more than one person. You can't really work from a 500 square foot condo. So there's been a flood of condos come on the market in the past several months, the last quarter, the last 6 months. And so that has affected prices for condos, but everything else, townhouses, detached, semi-detached properties have done extremely well, because there's so many people upgrading and just looking to move, looking to get more space, because people are working from home now.
Yeah, I just, since Ken has pointed out about condo market, primarily we can see a minus 3% reduction in average price in Toronto. And whereas 905 area surrounding the GTA has a 4.8% increase, but it drags down the overall rating to minus 2% in GTA Toronto. For the condominium market as of November 2020, we are still waiting for the report on December, so we will share with that. But at the same point, detached home average price has increased 15.2% from last November to this November. Now, and semi-detached has increased 12.9% from last November to this November, and townhome 12.6%. So that is what is the statistic as of today, and we will talk about very specifically what the predictions are. And then it's very important for that we really have sale increased 24.3% over the period. So this is very important for our viewers to know that. So obviously new listing came in about 33.5%. More listing came in the market. Still, prices are going up and up. We don't have a statistic for December, but we'll share with you. Let's go back to the historic 2019. So when we ended in 2018, our average price was $787,845, according to TREB information. And then it went to $819,288. So the growth from 18 to 19, there is a difference of, I would say, 20, about 13, 24, $25,000. So that's only for one, 1 year. So there was a little bit of slowness in the process from 18 to 19, average price. Our sale went up about 9,000 home, 78,018 to 87,753 transaction. Then we come back to 2020, which really shows that in January 2020, we have 4,546 transaction, and our average price was 838,087. This is the January. Then we came to February. It went from 4,546 to 7,193 sale of, and then average price jumped to 910,142. So you can see the jump. And in March, it went to 7,945 sale. Price went down from average price 902,787. So we have a reduction of about $8,000 average price. That's where it started hitting. In April, really impact of coronavirus started reporting in April. April, we went down to 2,958 transaction, and average price went down from 902,787 in March to 820,222. That's where it really hit, the coronavirus really hit us, because we halted all the operation, trying to learn how to show the property, how to conduct our business. Real Estate Council given us guidance, Korea, Uriya, our board gave us some guidance to how to deal with the issues, because not to avoid spreading of coronavirus, safety of our clients and customers, to make sure they're showing the property, nobody get infected with the disease, and setting up the policy, procedure, and protocol, how to conduct our business. So it's very significant reduction in April, because the statistic of March was reported in April, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's been, like there was a slow start after the, the pandemic really hit full force, and, the lockdown. But, real estate is considered an essential service. So, with that, the transactions continued. So it's been a healthy market. Summer was great.
It's very important for viewers to understand that these statistics, so they understand that we are able to predict based on this what's going to happen in the future. So then April was the worst of the worst month because of coronavirus. And May, we doubled the sale in May when it was lifted, 4,594. Average price jumped 43,000 from April to May. It went from 820,000 to 222 to 863,523. So it jumps about 44,000 from month to month. And then came the June, we went from 4,594 to 8,650, and our average price jumped from 863,523 to 931,074. And you can see that the buyer has a confidence to buy the property because of the protocol, because of safety precaution, because of lockdown by the Ontario government. People were not able to get out and buy it. And then also, real estate professional adopted new policy and procedure, precautions, and even though we did not do much of open houses, sale went back traditionally to the highest possible sale in a month, 8,000, and it has never gone down until we reach a point. So I'm going to share with you about this. So in June, 8,650, and in July, 11,037 sale. and price went from 931,000 to 943,000. Then in August, it went to 10,749 to 951,480 an average price, where we started at January 838,087. It went to 951,480. So in September, it went again up 11,051 sale to 960,688 average price. So that shows the trend. In October, we have a 10,537 sales and $968,160 average price. So that shows, and we're going to go back to November next. So this shows you that how people are excited. They are taking the advantage of the mortgage.
The low interest rates. Yes,
correct?
definitely. Historically
How
low.
your experience in
Like
this?
unbelievably low interest rates. And I was predicting before the summer hit, before July and August hit, that there would be a lot more transactions in the summer because people wouldn't be traveling outside of the province, out of the country, and I was incorrect. It wasn't as busy as I was predicting. It was typical of any summer. It just the sales slow down in the summertime. They're busiest in springtime, and then they get busy again. They slow down in the summer and then get busy again in September. So it was like a typical year.
Yeah, it is very, strange because you have to do extra effort. First of all, you have to use mostly virtual presentation, putting in offers, showing the property, then dealing with the lawyers, dealing with the inspectors, appraisal, bank, lender. Everybody's learning their own way of doing business because this coronavirus has affected everybody how to conduct the business. Business is not as usual. So we learn new techniques, how we can show our business to other people and deal with it. So this is how it is. So I am totally surprised that we started the year 2020 with 838,087 as an average price. And as of October, it was 968,162. Now, November went a little bit lower. It went to 8,766 deal, and average price bring down a little bit to 955,615 for the month of November. Overall, year to year into 2020, not considering December, our sale has already superseded any sale before. Last 2019, it was 87,753 sales, and average price was 819,288. And as of year to date for 2020 for TREP 416 and 905, average sale was 88,026, and average price considering 901, 905, and 416 is $929,433. So basically, it has increased in 1 year, I would say $100,000 approximately an average price. This is as of November today. So the purpose of this sharing this information is to talk about it. If you like to know very specific property in your area, you need to talk to your realtor who's working with you, or you can call Kenneth or myself. We'd be more than happy to guide you. You can call our studio, Avaz Entertainment, 647-484-0018, and you can ask for me or for Ken. We'd be more than happy to help you. The goal of
just Google us. You'll find us as well.
Yeah, you can Google it. You can find us. That's the easiest way of finding about, because we both are FRIs, fellow Royal Institute of Canada I'm a CIPS and he's a CPM. That means certified property manager. I'm a certified international property specialist. It's a designation in the US. So, we are there to help you to understand this. And what we are seeing is based on the data that we have, the trend is that we have, especially one thing you have to remember, we have a very, very slowness in immigration. I think the government policies are that as soon as coronavirus is curtailed and new vaccines are available, and we are go through this new lockdown that the government of Ontario has implemented starting from December 26 for at least 21 or 26 days or something, it will help to slow down the coronavirus spread of coronavirus, and business will continue to be as usual. The good thing about is this, Ken, is that we have such a lowest mortgage rate that that has not calmed down the prices. And
Yeah, no, the rates are, like as we mentioned, the rates are unbelievably low. It's that's what's really driving the market, or one of the major factors driving the market now, and keeping prices on the rise. Because when you buy a property, you're confirming a monthly payment on your mortgage. So if the mortgage rate is lower, you can afford a higher priced property. So if rates go up, back to 5% or higher, I often hear from the veterans, when rates were 20%, prices were, definitely lower, the prices of real estate, because the mortgage rate was so high. But now people can afford, a lot more property. There's still qualifying rates. You talk to your mortgage broker and you get pre-approved, and that's the number. But to help the industry and to avoid a crash, you have to qualify on a higher interest rate than the actual low rate that you receive. So that's one way that it's one way the industry has moved forward to protect the real estate industry and to avoid a crash.
Yeah, as you know, I'm a principal broker. I have a license to practice in mortgage, and I own a mortgage brokerage company. I think the qualification criteria is about adding 2% or because of OFSI rule. And right now is about 4.49% to calculate your worthiness and how much you can borrow and you qualify. Goal is to avoid the defaults, make sure fluctuation of rates give the protection for the borrower to handle those sensitivities if you run into loss of job. There are a couple of things before we talk about prediction. There are a couple of things that I want to talk about. Number one is continuity of job. This is very important that people have a job, that they are able to sustain expenses. Number two is very important about the federal government funding program they have for employers, for the employees or individual Canadians, to make sure they put food on the table and pay the mortgage. There are programs that defer mortgage payments. Some people have used those programs and they still will be available. If they're still available, please contact your lender who gave you the mortgage to make sure you are able to manage it and demonstrate. Number four is that you look into the alternative options for you, because there are possibilities that certain jobs that won't be available to you or may not survive this coronavirus pandemic. Right now, we have a lockdown in Ontario starting from 26. So there are limitations humanly that we can maintain and manage. We need to talk. We need to talk to your lender, the family and friends, seek some help, because we all have to survive this pandemic and make sure you don't default on your payment. So these are also, number six is the immigration. Because of lockdown, because of coronavirus, immigration has been less. The moment this lockdown is lifted and coronavirus vaccine is found, as you know, in the United States, they are already applying the vaccine because millions of citizens there are getting coronavirus so they can protect themselves. So this is very important. These are all factors that are going to affect the real estate business in 2021. We're going to take a short break from Realty Coffee Talk and Awaz Entertainment, and we will get back to you after the break. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world.
Welcome to City Pro Realty. We are 100% Canadian family-owned real estate brokerage. If you are thinking of buying or selling residential or commercial real estate, think of us. Call us. We are one-stop solution provider for your real estate needs. Our passion is real estate. Your success is our priority. Our commission plans to meet your budget. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. A family serving family. To search for sale properties and free reports, visit www.citypro.net.
चार बजे देखिए आपका किचन विद शहबाज गोरी। सुबह 5 बजे देखिए सितारे और हम। 5:30 बजे देखिए मैसेज ऑफ मर्सी। शाम 6 बजे देखिए दीन और दुनिया। इस्लाम इन मॉडर्न टाइम मजर अयूब के साथ देखिए हर मंगल शाम 6 बजे और हर जुमा शाम 5 बजे। थिंक अबाउट इट सलमान कुरैशी के साथ हर मंगल शाम 7 बजे। रियल्टी कॉफी टॉक ताहिर कुरैशी के साथ देखिए हर जुमेरात 7 बजे। टुनाइट टॉक रिजवान असलम के साथ हर जुमे को 7 बजे। देखिए तकरार कीजिए तकरार समीना जबीन के साथ रोज रात 9 बजे। आप देख रहे हैं आवाज एंटरटेनमेंट, आवाज आपकी, चैनल हमारा, जुड़िए हमसे।
With a portfolio of success with Empire Business Center, a marvel unparalleled. Indus Empire Mall and Residency, showcasing your elite stature with grandeur. Step in your private kingdom, stylish drawing rooms. Live in the lounge of nobility, luxurious bedrooms, covered car parking, modern gym. Only 1 minute drive from the main gate. Indus Empire.
Fine Foods, now open in Barhaven area, Ottawa. Pick up or dine in. Also available on Uber Eats, Skip the Dishes, and DoorDash.
Good evening and welcome to Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the globe. You are watching Realty Coffee Talk, and we're talking about housing market prediction 2021. Will it crash or boom? I provided you historic information obtained from Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, which is publicly available. Shared with you the trend has every 10 years, the price of the houses had doubled. And as you can see from 2020, average prices are going 15.2% for the houses, 12.9% for semi-houses, detached homes, and 12.6% townhome. These are freehold townhome, and it's the average price between 416 and 905 area. Now, historically, when you buy a house and you're buying it for yourself, and you are living in it, you are paying contribution through the mortgage. Sometimes 35 to 40% of your mortgage principal is paid through your monthly payment. Then you will pay money through your annual or double up on a monthly basis to more money that you put in toward your mortgage principal will increase, and then your mortgage payment interest will reduce, and your more money goes toward your principal, and you're kind of building your equity yourself. And then market will change, and market will improve, and then you have a tremendous value that you don't get that appreciation when you are renting it. So this is why it's very, very important. Even though we have a coronavirus that had destroyed the economy around the globe, people are still suffering. You have a second wave around the world. You can see how much people have died, or economy has been destroyed. Things are happening. But in Canada, particularly I'm talking real estate because Ken and me, we are real estate professional. Our economy is getting better and better because real estate play almost 35-60% of our GDP or Canadian revenue generation for the federal government. So it's a very important segment of our economy is real estate, Ontario. Now with all this coronavirus, we have not been affected. Overall, you can see, which I mentioned to you before, our average price of a detached home is $1.2 million in between 416 and 905 from last November to this November. Semi-detached average price is $946,735. Townhome prices $790,939, and condo property is average price is $605,863 from last November to this November, because we don't have a data for December. Based on this, and you can see the average price, we can reasonably predict that there are factors I pointed out that if people have learned new skills, if they are understanding based on the impact, because we have since March until now that we know that certain industry will not survive, or they have to rethink about their strategy, adopt new technology, new system of communication and doing business. They will maybe change of job classification, doing different things for self to make sure that they make money, because you have to feed the family. You need the shelter, rent are very high, so why not to buy it? So there will be more efforts there. Government is still continuing to support unemployment and funding program for everyone to make sure that they are paying their mortgage, putting food on the table. Then also immigration, which we're expecting that if coronavirus stops, they'll come in. If those people come in, where they're going to go? The shortage of houses has always been a challenge. This is why the money is controlled, is a supply and balance. We still need more housing if the new immigrants are coming. So these are all factors. Economy, government have given a stimulus package to the employer, the industry, and personally to people and small businesses. You cannot believe how much money that federal government has put together to make sure this stimulus package does not affect the economy and recovery efforts. So based on this, all what's going on, my predicament is based on this. So if we go to conservative approach, let's do a conservative approach. I predict that in 2021, the market will not crash. It will boom, but there is moderate level. So I am predicting the price of real estate will gradually increase to 5.1 to 5.3% in real estate. This is an average price will increase, especially condominium. We have to watch and see what happened because there's lots of property condominium. I think, Ken, you have a good point on that. Can you elaborate that and give your thought? What do you see? What's happening?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm a broker with Royal Lepage, and there's been some Royal Lepage stats that have come out. So nationally, across Canada, The forecast is an increase in prices of 5.5%. So that's across the entire country. Locally in the Greater Toronto Area, the prediction is 5.75% increase in prices. Ottawa is 11% approximately. Vancouver, 9% increase. We've got Halifax and Montreal, about 6% increase. But what is going to lower the number to an average of 5.5%, the main cities that are going to be hit are Calgary and Edmonton. So, but if we focus on the GTA, then the 905-416 area, the forecast from Royal Lepage is 5.75%. So it's that's not as healthy as some past years, but nonetheless still a very healthy real estate market.
That's great. I'm a little bit conservative in a sense because there are some elements that involve that directly affect the industry, which is financial support from the federal government. Is at one time, if they decide not to give that money, it will have a repercussion on the citizen to carry on the business as usual. Mm-hmm. Secondly, if they stop funding for employment, generating opportunities for industrialists, businesses, and if they are not able to get their funding or they stop that, because when they're borrowing, I think our federal government debt now crossed $1 trillion. So one way or the other, they're printing lots of dollars, but no recourse because there's no gold against the paper. So they are printing the paper to give the money. But sometimes you reach a saturation point where they stop this funding. And when they stop that, that's the time actually is going to hit the industry in a sense that they are reducing the impact by gradually changing the programs, reducing a little bit, and also increasing it, diversifying it. Because at the moment I don't know what type of accountability is, what kind of transparency is when people are seeking the loans. Are they justified? Who's going to audit them and verify, and what are the precautions? I saw a news where someone borrowed money and there was a court order based on the federal funding. They acquired 7 properties and finally the court has seized them. The program was that they took the money from the federal government under the program, one of those programs. I do not know whether they were employee of the government or not, but there was recently a news, I saw it last night. So those things will come into play. If the economy recovery continues, then definitely we will recover from this. We are already in that stage that we expect the increase to come, but we have to be realistic and be conservative to make sure that we are not overstating the facts. Of course, Royal Lepage is a very big company, and I'm a president of City Pro Realty Brokerage. We are a very small brokerage, but based on the data that we presented, I came with my prediction. I hope that you are right. Your Royal Lepage is right.
Yes,
that our client can benefit from this experience and prediction. So viewers, Ken is saying is 5.7% average or 5.5% average.
Yeah, I'm saying 5.7 in the GTA.
In the GTA?
Yeah, 5.75
in GTA.
In the GTA, yeah.
And as you know, when we talk about average price, there are a lot of variables because you have a townhomes, you have apartments, you have a detached homes, and they are semi-detached homes. So we are using our magic wand to calculate a value that and give you a feeling of optimism that it may not be a greater boom, but it's optimism that there is a positive moving forward, going into and buying your house for your family to provide shelter to your family rather than renting it, because renting is high. So we are not exaggerating. We are based on the factual data that we have shared with you and giving you a thought. If price increases, and everything works the way we think it is, then obviously it's going to go up. But at least we are saying is this is what the predictions are. Mine is 5.13 to 5.3, and Ken is saying 5.5 to 5.75 in
Yes.
GTA.
Yes. Yeah.
So viewers, you have an idea. Anything else you want to say, Ken, before
Yeah.
we?
Yeah, no, definitely. And with the vaccine has arrived in Canada, and it has been distributed to several people, but it's just it's a small quantity that's been received so far as of December 24th today, 2020. So if the vaccine becomes more readily available, and we're not in any type of lockdown or any type of restriction, there very well could be a spike in real estate prices, because as Tahir mentioned, as he mentioned to here, the immigration has really been affected. So I'm sure there was immigration is a big driving factor in the Greater Toronto area. So if there's a massive influx with immigration and just migration from people across Canada and from across the world that are going to enter the market, that might cause a spike as well. But I don't see that happening this coming year in 2021. It's possible maybe towards the end, but it's too hard to say right now. But that might happen in 2022, a big spike in prices.
Yeah. Viewers, you are watching Realty Coffee Talk on Awaz Entertainment. Predictions are the next year, if you want to buy a house, the prices are expected to increase 5.1 to 5.3 or 5.5 to 5.7 in GTA area. This is a prediction. As you know, the coronavirus is affecting our life. We have a lockdown. On behalf of Realty Coffee Talk, I wish all our viewers who are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas to you, and wish you all a Happy New Year. We also pray for our fellow citizens. May God keep them safe. And special prayer for our police officers, and military veterans and military soldiers and commanders, and also real soldier doctors and nurses. They are defending our fellow citizens, providing them health services, protecting them, taking care of ill people who are affected by coronavirus. May God keep them safe. May God bless you all. May God bless Canada. Thank you very much for watching Realty Coffee Talk, and we will see you next Thursday at 7 p.m. on Awaz Entertainment in Canada, around the world. Thank you very much.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you very
Happy
much.
holidays. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.